Hi, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today's video I'm going to show you how to make a bonnet. Now this is a pattern that I wrote about 5 years ago, and a couple of weeks ago Red Heart came out with this wonderful yarn called Baby Hugs. And it has lots of wonderful colors, and so I decided to rewrite that pattern, basically update the pattern, and use this wonderfully soft and tested, can you see that tested approved thing right there? They tested it for all kinds of substances to make sure that it's safe for babies and children. And this yarn comes in a 3 and a 4 weight, so there's lots of possibilities and lots of colors that you can use. And our video today, the pattern was originally written in just 3 sizes, but I added a 4th size. So we've got a preemie, and this size here is the newborn, which, a little note, the newborn size fits an American Girl doll, 18-inch American Girl doll. And then we also have a 3 months and a 6 months now, and it didn't used to have the 6 month included. So what you're going to need is an H hook, 2 colors of lightweight yarn. That's a number 3, and this one I think is called Peachy, and this one's Sky. Red Heart, Baby Love, Baby Hugs. I said it wrong. Baby Hugs, and then a needle to weave in your ends. It's a really easy pattern, and I think you're really going to love it. I just call it the Basic Baby Bonnet, and that pattern is a free pattern, of course, on my blog, and I'll add that in the links. Let's go ahead and move the screen down so you can see my hands. All right. Let's move that, and we got our H hook. Now the pattern comes in 4 sizes, and I'm just going to make the preemie size so you can see how it works. And the preemie size says to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull some more yarn out here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 chains. And we're going to single crochet in the 2nd chain from the hook. This is the first one, so we're going to single crochet in that 2nd chain from the hook, and then in each chain across until we reach that last chain. One little note to remember is if you stitch your chain too tightly, it will be hard to get your single crochet stitches in. So make sure you don't don't chain too tightly. And I did choose to use an H hook for this project because I wanted the bonnet to be a little bit lacy looking. Now I was asked to make this bonnet pattern, like I said, about 4 or 5, I think it's been about 5 years, for a young lady who was wanting to do some photography props for a business, and she wanted to have some bonnets that were quick to stitch up and would work for boys or girls. And this pattern will, just depending on the colors that you choose. Now when we get to the last chain, we're going to put 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Now we're going to be stitching down the opposite side of the chain. So move that string over where we started, and we're going to be stitching on this edge, which is the opposite side of the chain. So the first one, we have those 2, we're going to put 2 more. 1, 2, and that gives us our nice rounded edge for our bonnet. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet in each chain down. And this is giving our basic foundation. Can you remember the word I wanted there? Move that out of the way. This is giving us our basic foundation for our bonnet, the back. And by doing it this way, it keeps us from having to sew it closed. A lot of times a bonnet is made by making a large rectangle and then they sew the back closed. And we're not doing this. This will give us a much better look in the back, and it will lay a lot prettier as well. All right. So now we're at the end, and you can see we have crocheted on both sides of that chain all the way up, single crochet stitches, and then 2 and 2 on the end, which gives us 4. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and chain 3 will always count as your first double crochet. And then we're going to skip the next the next single crochet and put 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And this is where we're going to get our little V stitches that will give us a lacy look. And we'll do this all the way across, all the way around the whole bonnet. So we're going to skip the next stitch, put 2 double crochets, jumping right off my hook, skip the next stitch, 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Let me get some more yarn out over here. There we go. I really, really love this yarn. You've got to try it. It is so soft and smooth and glides so pretty on your crochet hook. I especially like the 3. Now I have some of the 2, or the 4 also. I said 2 because I'm putting 2 double crochets on there. All right, we'll skip a stitch, 2 double crochets, skip a stitch, 2 double crochets. Now we're at the end here, and you'll see as we do this that it's going to start forming that nice little arch to give the shape of the bonnet. So we're skipping the next stitch, 2 double crochets, skipping the next stitch, and 2 double crochets. Get a little more yarn there. I can never decide whether I should use a ball of yarn or I should just use the skein. And I always go with the skein. I don't know why. It doesn't matter, just the ball rolls off the table. But the skein is always, you've got to pull more out. All right, now we're moving around our bonnet. So we're still skipping 1, 2 double crochets. This yarn is so soft and slick, it slides right off the hook. There we go. I liked the idea of having yarn that's already been tested because, you know, I use a lot of this stuff on dogs. And dogs, small dogs especially, have allergies like babies do. And a lot of those things bother them as well. Okay, so we're continuing to skip 1, 2 double crochets. Skip 1, 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet when you get around to the other end. To this other end, you're going to just put 1 double crochet in the end. You always have 1 double crochet at the end, and then that chain 3 that counts as your double crochet at the beginning. Okay, then we're going to chain 3, and then from now on, this is the way you'll stitch this bonnet. You'll have chain 3 at the beginning, and then in between those 2 double crochets, you'll put 2 double crochets. A lot of times they will put a chain 1 in between, but I didn't want to do that. It made it a little bit too open for me. So here's 2 double crochets. We're going to put our hook in the space between those 2 double crochets and make 2 double crochets. And you'll do this all the way around. And I've already got one ready for you that I've done. And this is how your bonnet will look. You will put 2 double crochets in each double crochet on every row. And for the preemie size, you're doing, I believe, 8 rows. And this is how it will look. I love the texture in this. Okay, so once you get to that point, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to change to your next color. Now, the amount of rows that you'll do will depend on your size. Preemie is 10, newborn is 8, newborn is 10, I think then 12, and then 14 for the size 6 months. Okay, so the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to hook our blue yarn on with a loop and chain 25 or more depending on what size that you chose. And you're going to chain 25. Now, if you, my pins keep jumping around. If you want it longer, you can make it longer. I just don't want it real long because I don't like it to get caught, you know, in their necks or whatever. I just like to tie a nice little loose bow. Okay, and then you're going to put a double crochet in the end. So we're going to whip over, yarn over, whip over, and then you're going to double crochet and then you'll slip stitch in that same stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch back to the where we started. And something I do when I slip stitch is I always hold that loop, keeps it from sliding off the hook. Then you just slide your hook in and you can go through that loop. Now if you wanted it a little thicker, you could single crochet. I just like them kind of thin, and so I designed it with a slip stitch. Alright, that ink pen is bugging me. I'm going to move it out of the way. And then we're going to slip stitch in all the chains back up to the bonnet. And this gives us a nice sturdy tie on. You're not attaching it, and with the ability it might come unraveled or unknotted or something. It will stay put. Okay, so we're back at the bonnet. Oh, my yarn stuck. There we go. Okay, now that we're back to the bonnet, we're going to come up the inside edge and make our trim. So you're going to slip stitch in that first stitch we were just at. Then you're going to skip the next 2, and then you're going to put 3 double crochets in that next stitch. Then you're going to skip the next 1 and put a single crochet. Then you're going to skip the next 1 and do 3 double crochets. And this is a shell stitch that will go around the edge of your bonnet. And this, just skip 1, single crochet, skip 1, and 3 double crochets. This gives it a nice edge. For your bonnet, and it doesn't make it too feminine that you can't use it for a little boy. You know, you could do little, you know, even this bonnet here is not too feminine for a little boy. And that yellow and gray one that I have on the doll there is one of my favorite color combinations that they have. The gray, I believe, is called Dolphin, and the yellow, I think, is Sunshine. I'd have to look. I cannot remember, but it is another really pretty combination. And you can see I'm double crocheting, 3 double crochets, and then I'm skipping a stitch, single crochet, and then 3 double crochets around the bonnet. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, and 3 double crochets, and it brings you right back to the next corner. Not right back, right to the next corner. And then you'll do the same thing. You're going to chain 25 or however many the pattern calls for, double crochet, and then slip stitch back up. And then after you do that, around the ends of the inside, all you're going to do is single crochet. And I'll show you with this one that I have on my doll. Slip her out. She is so much fun. I bought her at Hobby Lobby. And it makes... Here's your shell stitches on your edge, your tie, and then when you get back up here, all you do is single crochet around the bottom edge of your bonnet. And here's this little newborn one, the size that we just made. And by doing the way we did the back, with stitching on both sides of the chain, it makes the top of the bonnet a nice rounded edge, as you can see. And I love the way that it lays, and they fit really nice, and those sizes are on the pattern as well. So I hope that you'll make some of these. They're a lot of fun. Like I said, the free pattern will be in the comments, and it's a really simple pattern, really easy to adjust to all the sizes. And thank you for watching my YouTube video, and I hope you'll take a second and subscribe. Baby Bonnets. Thank you. Have a great day.